All right, welcome to the presentation, guys. Today we are going to be discussing how to invest in uh, profitable businesses. That's right. And you don't have to be super rich. You don't have to be mega wealthy. Heck, you don't have to be wealthy at all. That's one of the reasons that we decided to bring this to you guys. We understand that a lot of folks really are under the common misconception that it takes a lot of money, takes great credit, takes a huge network to do any of these things. And that's just something that's not true. Um, just a little background of myself. My name is Christopher C. Day, and I am an entrepreneur and small business investor. Over the past 4 years, I've video documented the exact pathway I took from complete homelessness to complete financial freedom. That's right, folks. Life happens. It happens to everyone, and it happens at different stages of life. Sometimes there's good things, sometimes there's bad things, sometimes it leaves us in a place of trying to figure out what to do. Because this is pretty well what I've been doing most of my life is, building, buying, and selling businesses. I knew that that was not going to be a situation that was long lived. I knew that that was not going to be a place to where I was going to be stuck by any means. And I thought, video documentation could just be what this calls for. So that's exactly what we did is videoed the entire process from being completely homeless, sleeping on the side of basically off the side of the road, into now, with a full home and property and multiple companies that my wife and I own or own equity share in. And now we're bringing that to you to show you exactly how to do that as well. So, how does that happen? Like, what does that look like? What does becoming an investor look like? Right. Especially if we're talking about not having tons of money, not having just an abundance of cash or an abundance of credit at our disposal so that we can use. That's easy, folks. We have built an organization for you, an organization that is designed for regular, average Joe, blue collar, hardworking American who works every day, puts away as much as he can. The rest kind of goes to bills. And he or she wonders, is that going to be enough in the end? Is this that we're putting away going to be enough for that rainy day? Sadly, most of the time, the answer is no. It's just not. Your average American's only two paychecks away from being completely homeless. And that's something that, in my own life, I experienced that. I experienced what it was like to be so short from not having a place to live, not having the electric paid, not having a vehicle to get to and from work. And sadly, that's something that a lot of people that I personally know and have known in my life have gone through and experienced, and some still are experiencing today. I felt like if there was something that I could do to benefit those people, I needed to do that. And I built an organization. And that organization is called the Rich Wolf Club. What is the Rich Wolf Club? We're an exclusive membership club, guys, dedicated to building wealth and passive income streams for our members. And how do you do that? How is that possible? Or what does someone do in order to invest, these days? Well, that's pretty simple, as a matter of fact. Our club offers a couple of different investment vehicles. Right now, we are launching our private equity fund, which they call the PE1 fund. And this is our very first private equity centralized fund. It is a $1 million raise. And what we're doing is selling that off in 200 units at $5,000 per unit. So that allows, average Joe to be able to take his income tax, the money that he got from an old 401k or, his old retirement plan when he switched jobs, lost jobs, changed jobs, what have you. We understand that most people don't have $5, $10, $15, $20,000 laying around to put into an investment to one day hopefully get a return. That's the same situation I've always been in my entire life, and I understand that most people in the United States are that way. You just don't have that kind of means, that type of funding to just tuck away somewhere hoping that one day it's going to pay. So we said, hey, let's build a group that comes together, puts these funds together to go and do something that generates positive cash flow. Because positive cash flow is where it's at. We all want a paycheck, and we want a paycheck as fast as that can happen. So let me explain to you the options that are open to you as an average regular Joe investor today, right now, 2024. Okay. The PE1 private equity fund that we're operating invests in multiple profitable cash flowing businesses. What does that mean, guys? That means that we buy businesses that are already making money. We buy businesses that are already positive cash flowing. They're not distressed companies. They're not companies that the owner's in a bind and needs to get away from, that we need to do a fixer upper like you would in real estate market. No, we find profitable companies whose owners are ready to make an exit, ready for retirement. They may have health issues. They may be going through a divorce or relocating. The point is there's a multitude of reasons that someone would want to exit a profitable business. Sometimes it's simply because they built the business to sell, right? So that's what we look for. We look for those little diamonds, those gems that are hidden away out there that we can pick up for a reasonable price, put a management team in place, and then be able to draw residual passive income. This is the model that my wife and I have taken over the past 4 years to go to complete financial freedom. For those of you who are members of the club who are down there now, you guys have witnessed this happening over the past several years. For those of you that are new, check out the YouTube links. There's a ton of videos that walk you through the entire process. So how is it available for you? How can you get into it without having big bucks? Simple, guys. We've broken it down into 200 units of $5,000 a piece. Now, $5,000 still may be a little bit out of some folks' range. It may be more than what you've got sitting around in your checking account or your savings account. That's quite all right. We understand that as well. Maybe you don't have the IRA. Maybe you don't have the 401k. Maybe you don't even have the income tax coming your way, right? That's okay. We also can break that down into multiple payments. We have structured two different programs. Okay, two different programs for the investor who wants to become an investor who doesn't quite have enough to join in one of our funds. One of those is called the Silver Card membership package or program, and that Silver Card membership program is a $5,000 membership. This allows you to incrementally pay into the $5,000 unit pool. Once that is taken care of over a 12-month period, then you're able to decide what vehicle that you would like to put that into. It's kind of like a savings account within the club that allows you to generate a little bit of income. Okay. The beauty of joining that program is all of our funds require a 1-year lockup on your capital before you're able to join in distribution. Now, as a member of the Silver Card or the Gold Card program, which we'll discuss momentarily, you are eligible the moment that's paid off. Okay, so you've spent a year. It's a 12-month program. You've put in your payments. You've paid your dues, and now you've got the money in the pot. It is now time for you to choose the investment vehicle or vehicles that you would like to do. And there's no 1-year waiting period on that. You will be able to join in the distribution immediately that following quarter. And that's a benefit of being in part of that program. There again, we understand that a lot of folks don't have the type of capital to just stick away for years at a time and never see anything back. I personally never had that. Whether I had 1,000 or 10,000 to stick into something, I couldn't let it go for a year or 2 or 3 without seeing something coming back, right? And we understand that. That's why we built this particular model, okay, this particular fund to do this. The idea is that the businesses we purchase, they're already positive cash flow, so we don't have to wait for them to make a profit, right? The beauty is when we do these bids, when we put these agreements together, they ensure that we generate a positive cash flow. So what type of businesses do we invest in? What type of businesses would it be that you are, that you're drawing distribution from? The answer's a multitude. There's a variety, guys. I personally have experience in the home service-based industries, construction, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, things like that. 16 years worth of personal experience in those industries, and that's kind of where I focus. Some of the other folks on our analyst team have some other types of interest, like SaaS and digital marketing, just because of the fact that those types of companies work well with our companies. And by owning them, it cuts costs down. We get to do a roll up and it allows us to market at max effort for the least amount of acquisition cost. So those are some of the ideas. We're looking at plumbing. We're looking at construction. We're looking at HVAC, small mom and pop, privately owned companies, right? Um, in general, we do have a very strict criteria of the type of companies that we purchase into. We don't just buy into just any old thing. And as I said, we don't buy into distressed or failing businesses. Our criteria is simple. They have to have been in business for at least 7 to 10 years. Okay. They must have been profitable for the prior 3 consecutive years. Okay. And when I say profitable, they must have a seller's discretionary earning or an EBITDA, right, which is basically your pass-through income to the owner of anywhere between $250,000 and $500,000 per year. What that means to you as an investor is that every company that we invest into are already drawing anywhere between $250,000 and $500,000 a year that gets to be split up between distribution to the investors. That's the pass-through part. So, as an investor in this fund, you will be receiving a distribution every single quarter of the profits. Now, how much are you going to get? What's the breakdown, and what does the distribution look like? I'm glad you asked. This fund pays a pro rata distribution of 80% of the profits every single quarter, 1 year after membership. In other words, after you've had your capital in the fund for 1 year, you've been a member of the fund for 1 full year. After that, every single quarter, you will receive a distribution check that is based on your percentage of distribution of 80% of the profits. So the combined profits for that quarter, right? We take 80% of that, and that's what's split up between all of you owners. And that's split depending on the amount of distribution ownership that you have. If you have 1 unit out of 200, then you'd have 5%, or excuse me, 0.5%. If you had 2 units, a $10,000 buy-in, that's 1% of the distribution. So 1% of 80% of the profits, what you'd be getting every single time. So what does that look like? I'm going to go ahead and let's do a little screen share. I think we can do a screen share. See how this doing. Well, you know what? I've actually disabled that. Let me see if I can't bring that back up. Maybe it's possible. It could happen. It could happen. It might not happen today. As a matter of fact, it's not going to happen today. Let me take a look, see if my RWC team can help out with that. This is not going to be a long presentation, guys. I built this to be pretty simple. It's a fairly easy to understand model. It's easy to invest in. It's easy to participate in. And from what I understand, it's easy to understand. That's the whole purpose of building what we built here. So the private equity fund, guys, who's it open to? It is open to non-accredited investors. What's a non-accredited investor? That's you. That's me. That's him, her, and everybody else you know for the most part. In order to become an accredited investor, you must make at least $200,000 a year or have a net worth of $1 million. Or you and your spouse make $300,000 per year. So together. That doesn't fit a lot of the folks we know and a lot of the folks that we know that really want to do more with their life. So that's why we built this fund. We built this just specifically so that you guys can participate in this type of this type of endeavor. If you guys will look down in the chat, I will stick a link for you guys to be able to take a look at the actual investment deck. We have all of this beautifully written out for you so that you can look through yourself, do your own research, see if purchasing a unit into the PE fund is for you or maybe someone you know. If it is, it's real simple. You can just click the button. Real easy. If you're not ready for that yet, you can click the button. We can talk about it to discuss your options on it. If that's still, maybe you're totally sold. Maybe you're ready to invest. Maybe you say, Chris, I'm ready to do it. I want to sink every dime I've got into the PE1 private equity fund with the Rich Wolf Club because I believe in what you're doing. I believe in what's going on, and I know that you're going to make me some bank. But I don't have any money. We hear it all the time. It's quite all right. That's exactly why we created the silver card program and the gold card program. These are two flexible membership programs is what they are. They allow you to purchase membership into our organization over time without having to come out of pocket, all at once. You're able to do this in monthly installments. We've got them that you can pay every single week. We've got it where you can make a monthly pay. Either way, we can get you taken care of. Regular Joe is able to invest on a major scale in 2024. No longer do you have to be accredited. No longer does it cost thousands and thousands of dollars that you probably cannot afford to tuck away. Now you can do it with easy monthly installments, knowing that there's a real distribution coming your way just 12 months after membership. Now, if that doesn't sound like a beautiful plan, I just don't know what does. Really, that's what we have for you tonight. That's what the Rich Wolf Club has to offer regular Joe tonight. Is the private equity fund is open. Our fund gives you the opportunity to purchase in and have ownership of distribution into real companies that make real profits today, right? Now, what kind of returns are we looking for? Look, I'm just going to lay it out there for you. Buying businesses is exponential returns. That's all I can say about it. Look, if you go take out a loan somewhere, you're getting a tiny little fraction for interest, right? If you go out and sell a car, you're going to make a tiny little amount, little commission on it, a little something on top of the list price, what have you. That's it. When you're buying a business, you're buying multiples of what it generates in a year. Right? That doesn't mean you have to pay that. That means that you have an agreement to pay for that. And then when you sell it, you're getting a multiplier on that. Exponential returns, guys. That's the reason that we go into private equity. 90% of millionaires are created through real estate transactions. But 100% of billionaires are made through acquisitions. That's what it is, whether it be business acquisitions or whatnot, it's acquisitions. It's the buying and selling of entities that own positive cash flowing assets. That's how wealth is generated. And that's how you can do it today. Hey, thanks for joining me. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the presentation, have learned something tonight, and understand now how you too can also join in to an actual organization that is meant to bring wealth to your life. That's meant to bring passive income to your future so that you don't have to worry about what's to come. If that interests you, I'd love to talk to you. Love to have a further communication with you. Feel free to set up a time. We will be reaching out to everyone who showed up tonight to set up a follow-up call to discuss the options on how we might go further together and what investing or the possibility of investing looks like for your future. So thank you for coming. I've enjoyed seeing you here, and you guys have a fantastic evening.